I recently discovered that my South Dakota residency is having some major issues. The company that I was using over there called My Dakota Address, and I know that a lot of other YouTubers are using them, like a lot of people, a lot of full-timers. I think they had over 1,800 customers. This company is suddenly going out of business. We are back in Massachusetts. The rest of the family vacation ended up going pretty well. I think the highlight of the trip for me was in San Juan, Puerto Rico. We didn't really have a lot of time in Old San Juan, but I'd say we probably made the most of it. You know, we went up to the fort at San Cristobal, which is actually a national park. It's considered a national historic site within the National Park Service. So that was really interesting to be able to see that and learn about the history. I mean, it is like the main fort, that and San Felipe del Moro, which defended the island of Puerto Rico for like over 500 years, since Spanish colonial times. So there's a lot of history there, and then also just some of the incredible views that it offered of the surrounding area. It was definitely a highlight for me, like I said. And then on top of that, the food in Puerto Rico was probably the best food that we had on the entire trip. We went to this local cafe in Old San Juan and got to try this like barbecue meat platter, which was absolutely incredible. Probably my favorite thing that I ate the whole week. And then we also got to have this, I guess it was like a rice dish. It was a local rice dish. I don't remember the name of it. It was a rose con something, but I don't know. I can't remember what it was, but it was absolutely incredible. So definitely my favorite part of the trip overall. And now it is back to reality. Upon returning to the United States, I recently discovered that my South Dakota residency is having some major issues. The company that I was using over there called My Dakota Address, and I know that a lot of other YouTubers are using them, like a lot of people, a lot of full-timers. I think they had over 1,800 customers. This company is suddenly going out of business, and I received no warning from them, which is like the most frustrating thing, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. It's a Saturday right now, so like I can't really call anybody. Nowhere's really open, so I'm trying to like figure out what's going on here. And like I said, I didn't receive a notification. This company has just decided to shut down. I think that the government apparently shut them down. That's the rumor. I don't really know. One of my subscribers reached out to me on Instagram. Thank you, Justin, for reaching out to me and sent me a message and said like, hey, just so you know, I know you use them. It looks like they're shutting down. He must have found out trying to call to get his mail at some point in the last couple days. So really not handling it very well, and definitely a problem because I just re-registered the Element and my registration is somewhere in transit right now, and it's definitely not getting to that address. So it's probably going to get lost and either sent back, and I'm going to have to figure something out, and I don't even know what I'm going to do. But this could be a potential disaster in the making right now.
I'm sorry, this mailbox is full and cannot accept new messages. Please try again later. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's not a good sign if they're not even taking phone calls anymore. Like I said, it is a Saturday, so maybe on Monday I'll be able to at least get in touch with them and try to figure it out. I do have a forwarded email with the information for another company in South Dakota. I think they're on the other side of the state, called Dakota Post, I think it is. Pretty sure that's what they're called. So I'm going to try calling them and see what can happen. Apparently they're going to be open like round the clock to try to help people out, because all these customers who are leaving My Dakota Address have nowhere to go. So let's see what.
Thank you for calling. We are experiencing high call volume due to the influx of new clients coming over from My Dakota Address. Rest assured, we will be working around the clock and through the weekend to get everyone taken care of in a timely manner.
So I left them a message. Hopefully I'll hear back from them and be able to get this figured out. I just really need to figure out where my registration is going that I just spent $80 on, because I really hope that it doesn't just get lost and I have to re-register the Element, because that would kind of stink. Although now that I'm thinking about this, there might be another way to approach it. It could be a blessing in disguise for me. I don't really know for sure yet, but before leaving on that trip for the cruise with my family, I got notification from my car insurance company that they were going to drop my coverage. And I think that was because the address for my Dakota address was showing as a business address and it wasn't showing as a local address, and that's obviously not where the vehicle is garaged, but technically the vehicle's not really garaged anywhere, so like I'm gonna have to call them and get that sorted out as well. But maybe it'll be a little bit easier now that I'll probably be having a new address at some point, hopefully by next week. So I don't know, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. It could also be a whole nother can of worms and a whole nother issue, but I'll keep you guys posted on how it develops. Last few days have been like a blast from the 1990s for me. Been working on going through like all of our old family VHS tapes and converting them to digital, so that's definitely been pretty fun. A very tedious process, but I think worth it for the whole family to have, you know, for years to come kind of thing. So that's been good. And then also just like going through all of my old stuff and like trying to decide what to keep. And now we're going to the post office because I'm about to sell a bunch of stuff. I sold a bunch of stuff on eBay, so got to go send it out right now. And just like stuff everywhere, but definitely something that needed to be done because my parents are selling the house like I mentioned in previous videos, and you know, just trying to get ahead of it all and trying to pare down as much as I can. There's this guy who works at the post office here in town, and he's been working here since like I was a little kid, as long as I can remember. And he always says the same exact thing when you finish up the transaction and you're leaving. He goes, "Have a good day." And he does it in this like very like interesting voice. I mean, he has this really interesting voice as it is, but he always says it the exact same way.
Just a moment. Corporate accounts payable, Nina speaking. Just a moment. Corporate accounts payable, Nina speaking. Just a moment.
And I can remember it like as long as I can remember. He's been working here, so it's always fun to see him. And special thanks, by the way, while we're at the post office and I'm thinking about this, to those of you who have purchased stickers over the past couple of weeks. I still do have quite a few of the new ones available here, so if anyone else is interested, there is a link in the description below. So it is now Monday, by the way, and I did hear back from Dakota Post. They were super helpful. They got back to me like right away, and I already have a new address with them and everything like that. It looks like it's working out okay. Regarding the whole insurance thing, that's a whole nother issue. You know, I went onto my insurance provider's website and changed the address to the new one, and it seems to have worked, but at the same time, it's giving me these issues with the PMB, with the mailbox number and stuff like that. So I'm thinking that this problem could persist. I think my next step is probably just to call them and try to figure out what's going on, talk to a representative in person and see if I can get some sort of special coverage or something like that, let them know what's going on with my situation and everything. But I don't know, I think that it's also possible that I'm going to need to switch providers. So if anybody out there has suggestions, who is living on the road full time in an RV or a van or car or whatever it may be, let me know what you think, what you're using for your insurance. Post in the comments below and I'll take it into consideration because it might be time to make a change. Still haven't quite figured out where my new registration is. I really do think that it is lost somewhere, and I cannot get in touch with my Dakota address. Even on Monday today, they are shut down. There's no response going through when I call that number, and it's the same thing. This voicemail box is currently full and is not accepting messages. Try again later. Goodbye. So they're definitely gone. They are completely out of business. I really don't know what happened with them. Like I said, the rumor was that they were shut down or something like that, which is a little bit worrisome because if they're shutting down my Dakota address, then like how long is it going to take for them to go after the company that I'm switching to now and that sort of thing? Like I said, I don't really know the details. I don't know why they shut down this business or even if they did shut it down, but I don't know, like I feel like there's really not anything wrong with what they're actually doing. I mean, they're just a mail forwarding service for someone who is traveling on the road and is out of state. I mean, I'm a resident of South Dakota. I just don't live there. I travel full time around the United States and to Canada as well, and all over the place. So I don't know. It's just it's definitely a little concerning to not really know exactly what's going on, but at the same time, I think it's probably going to work out now that I've made the switch. This company does seem bigger. It's highly recommended. I think a lot more people are using this one than were using the one that I was with before, so hopefully it all works out. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll keep you all posted with any developments as they change with this whole situation on my end over the next couple of weeks. And I hope this video was helpful for some of you guys who are either considering changing your domicile state while you're on the road full time, or are already South Dakota residents, or are just considering maybe switching to South Dakota. There is now one less option, obviously, to be able to do that. And by the way, if you haven't already seen my video from last year and you're really confused about what I've been talking about this whole video here, I did make a video last year when I made my switch to South Dakota residency. I'll put a link in the end screen on this video so you guys can check it out, and I'll also put a link in the description below. Before ending the vlog, I do have one new Patreon pledge to thank as well. Ellie Bizzle, thank you so much for joining the Patreon team. Your support will keep this journey going. I'm looking forward to getting back on the road again pretty soon. I'm going to spend a little bit more time here with my family in my parents' house as they're selling the house and moving everything out and all that, but after that, I'm going to be getting back out there. I'll talk to y'all in the next video.